Whoever you are, wherever you are, hope you are blessed and doing safe. Ladies and gentlemen, greetings, family. Of course, I'm tuning in. You see me without the glasses off today. But if you're looking for some opportunities, particular advertisement opportunities, then look no further at the link at the bottom to my email address. You can hit me up for advertisement opportunities. We are supporting and promoting your businesses here on this channel. You can also, if you would like to donate and subscribe to our Patreon, a link is at the bottom as well. So you have multiple ways in which you can advertise with the platform by emailing me when we go on do our live stream. You also have access to premium content, those that want to see premium content that you will not find here on YouTube or Facebook or Twitter, as I am suspended probably by now. You guys can check out the Patreon at link at the bottom. But advertisement opportunities, definitely email me, gavin.grich1@gmail.com for rates. And for the Patreon, it is the same as the YouTube channel. It is channel gboot2786. All right, I'll holla. Peace. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to another hot live stream, the hottest live stream in the cosmos and on YouTube. It is Random Topic Tuesdays only on channel gboot2786 on Gavin Richard on Facebook and on Periscope. Whoever you are, wherever you are, I hope you are blessed and doing safe, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you don't mind. Didn't want to appear on camera tonight. I'm just taking it easy, but we got a lot we want to talk about. In particular, today, Southwest Airlines and others are having a meltdown. Kamala Harris commemorates her favorite holiday, Kwanzaa, and Akon disrespects foundational Black Americans. All this and more, ladies and gentlemen, on our broadcast. I hope you all are doing good. We ask, of course, to support this channel by donating to the CashApp, PayPal, Zelle, or Venmo. I also ask if you would please check out Nawny'sCreoleBlends.com. Order you some Creole seasoning. Try it on chicken, meat, or fish. Nawny's goes great with every dish. Also, you saw our advertisements earlier. you can still go to Kindle and pick up The Commonwealth of Pennsylvania versus William H. Cosby Jr., The Destruction of Due Process in the United States. That is a must read. It's available on Kindle. Subscribe to our Facebook page at Commonwealth Cause, ladies and gentlemen. So we're gonna go ahead, get started. Smash up the likes, will you? I see some people are in that are here. We appreciate you. I also got to do a plug-in not later on. Of course, we have Thursday night shows. We do this live stream every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. But I will actually be not. We won't be having a show this Thursday. We might be doing instead a special, perhaps on Saturday to commemorate the new year and just run down all the random topics that we've had in 2022. And I'm part of the reason why we're not doing a show Thursday is because this Thursday, ladies and gentlemen, I have booked another comedy show, the final comedy show of 2022, ladies and gentlemen, and that is this event here that we're going to share with you right now. We have the last laugh of 2022. If you are in the New Orleans area, you got nothing to do. Come on, it's Saturday, it's Thursday night. It's a good night to come out. Don't worry, I know it's New Orleans East, but hey, they got security out at this place too. This is our show. Hold on, why is this not up? All right, here we go. Sorry, the last laugh of 2022. It's hosted by yours truly. We have Brandon Haynes, B Dub, and of course, Will Merrill will be your headliner, and I will be hosting. So you guys may want to check out this page. Check out and get your tickets now, ladies and gentlemen, while it's still available on Eventbrite. It is G Rich Productions. Uh, it's going to be a great event. It still starts at 8 p.m. So y'all don't want to miss that. I've been pushing it for the last couple of days. So if y'all can come on out if you're in the New Orleans area, please do so. Buy some tickets. Come on out. Bring your lady friend. We're going to celebrate the new year, man. So a lot's going on. We're going to go ahead and get started in a second. I want to talk about this, obviously. So Kamala Harris, y'all seen this video that is going around? I don't know if you have, but the vice president was brought to my attention recently. Of course, she celebrates Kwanzaa. She's always, as she does, celebrates Hanukkah and Christmas, probably less. And the vice president is commemorating her time as a little girl, celebrating this beloved holiday that is celebrated by millions across the United States. Man, I'm making this up as I'm talking. Ain't nobody really celebrates Kwanzaa, but no, I'm not gonna say that. There are some people who do, but truth be told, it was not something. Let's be honest, it was not something that was popular uh, in the certainly in the 60s and 70s. Probably by the 90s is when it picked up, but it wasn't something that was worldwide celebrated as we speak now. And to the day this day, it's obviously not as popular as Christmas or even Halloween or any of the other holidays. But the vice president, Kamala Harris, and her husband gave a special message to commemorate her time as a little girl about Kwanzaa. And you look at the number of views, it's gotten over 10,000 views as of December 26th, which was yesterday. And look at the likes to dislikes. This was on Forbes breaking news. So this was Kamala Harris's, Vice President Harris's message.
Hello, everyone, and happy Kwanzaa. Doug and I send our warmest wishes to all of you this holiday season.
During Kwanzaa, we celebrate the history and heritage of the African American community and the African diaspora.
We know he's reading from a teleprompter. He's looking straight ahead at it. I think she's looking from her. She watch it when she watch for a second. She's going on cue cards.
Growing up, Kwanzaa was always a special time. We came together with generations of friends and family and neighbors. There were never enough chairs, So my sister and I and the
Now
other
look at her.
children would often
That's-
sit on the floor,
That's the teleprompter.
and together we lit the candles of the Kinara, and then the elders would talk about how Kwanzaa is a time to celebrate culture, community, and family. And they've, of
Who's the elders?
course, taught us about the 7 principles. My favorite principle was always the second, Kujichagulia, self-determination, the power to design your own life and determine your own future. And it is a deeply American principle, one that guides me every day as Vice President.
To everyone celebrating, we hope your week is filled with love and light. From our family to yours, happy Kwanzaa.
And she is getting ethered in these comments. People are saying this is hilarious. She said she and her family have celebrated this holiday for generations, which didn't come about until 1966 in California, not Africa. I could continue on, but I would then, of course, this already seems like a piece of shit just by starting. But he is correct. It didn't start in Africa. It started in California. That's true. It started in 1966. Ron Karinga was the guy who created it, and of course, many of us don't really. It's true. Black people really don't celebrate Kwanzaa like talking about it, and I can go off and make a remark like that because it has a large, in large part, we do not respect Ron Karinga just based off of his history. He apparently has had, some issues in the past, just rumors, of course, his ties with the government, just volatile history that he has. Judge Joe Brown can't stand him. Judge Joe Brown says he's an informant. Judge Joe Brown, who's from Los Angeles, talked about how anytime he would go out, they would have a meeting. They would know by who was there and who was not, who was informing. He said Karinga was the one that would never always start something but never show up when the cops would come. But I mean, I got to ask when she says the elders, which one of the, when you look at this picture, the question we got to ask is which of these elders celebrated Kwanzaa in this photograph? Now that's the vice president on the left. She's got to be a teenager or in her early 20s then. I take it that's her grandparents. That's her sister at the bottom. It's cousins. You're telling me they celebrated Kwanzaa? Her own father disowned a lot of the stuff she says. Talking about she smoked weed listening to Snoop Dogg. Remember when that happened? I know good and damn well she's not lighting no can. Her husband is Jewish. I know he celebrates Hanukkah more than likely. They ain't celebrating no damn Kwanzaa, man. My man TD Hip Hop actually did a video about it. Because this time they didn't bring, remember, this time they didn't actually bring Kamala Harris. First time it was just Kamala Harris. This time they brought her husband. And I think, remember, a lot of people caught on to the fact that Mrs. Harris, Mrs. Embaum, because that's her her married name, that she didn't have her husband with her when they were talking about family and so forth. I remember this last year in 2021. And so, brother TD Hip Hop pointed out her family life growing up and I'll just play a little bit of it. Shout out to him. But this is what he talked about.
In 1966, Harris moved to Champaign, Illinois, as her parents took positions at the University of Illinois. The family moved around the Midwest, with both parents working at multiple universities in succession over a brief period. Harris, along with her mother and sister, moved back to California in 1970 while her father remained in the Midwest. They stayed briefly on Melvia Street in central Berkeley, then at a duplex on Bancroft Way in West Berkeley, an area often called the Flatlands with a significant Black population. When Harris began kindergarten, she was bused as part of Berkeley's comprehensive desegregation program to Thousand Oaks Elementary School, a public school in a more prosperous neighborhood in northern Berkeley, which previously had been 95% white and after the desegregation plan went into effect, became 40% Black. Have you ever read a Wikipedia bio of anyone who was actually Black, where in the bio they stress this hard to validate the individual's Blackness? I've never read a Wikipedia bio on anybody who was actually Black where they had to stress to me that they grew up in a neighborhood with a quote, significantly Black population. And oh, yeah, the school that they went to at one point was 95% white, but by the time Kamala got there, the school was 40% Black. So you see, guys, Kamala's Black. Now let's keep reading because if you thought this was bad, it gets even more ridiculous. Once again, I've never seen anything like this before on a Wikipedia bio. A neighbor regularly took the Harris girls
Well,
to
it's
an
the main
African.
thing when you're looking at the Wikipedia page. Notice here something he didn't highlight is that their mother introduced them to Hinduism and took them to a nearby Hindu temple where she occasionally sang. As children, she and her sister visited their mother's family in Madras several times. She says she's been strongly influenced by maternal grandfather P.V. Gopalan, a retired Indian civil servant whose progressive views on democracy and women's rights impressed her. Harris remained in touch with her Indian aunts and uncles throughout her adult life. Harris also visited her father's family in Jamaica. Now, just when you look at that, now Kamala Harris is in her 60s, in her early 60s. You honestly, Kwanzaa did not become a holiday until 1966. I'm sorry. I apologize. She was not 19. She's not in her 60s. She's 60. She was born in 1964. So she's 58. So she's 58. And Mrs. Enhoff, that's her husband, Doug Enhoff. She was born October 20th, 1964. So when you're talking about Kwanzaa, it didn't become a holiday till 67, 66. So she'd be 2 or 3. And this was still not a popular thing. So I ask you, do you all honestly believe that Kamala Harris celebrated Kwanzaa as a little girl?
African American church in Oakland where they sang in the children's choir, and the girls and their mother also frequently visited a nearby African American cultural center. Her parents divorced when she was 7. Harris has said that when she and her sister visited her father in Palo Alto on weekends, other children in the neighborhood were not allowed to play with them because they were Black. If you didn't know any better, this bio reads off as if Kamala Harris was raised in Jim Crow, Alabama. But the funny thing is this: you can read bios of Malcolm X, Huey P. Newton, Martin Luther King, and whoever else that actually grew up during that time. And even their Wikipedia bios don't try to sell you this hard on their blackness and that they grew up in black neighborhoods and went to a black church and sang in a black choir and went to a black school. They don't even read off like this. But when you come to Kamala Harris's page, they're stressing this to you so hard because she is an Indian woman. The only reason for a Wikipedia bio to ever have to put this much emphasis on the blackness that surrounded Kamala when she was growing up is because they are trying to sell you on the idea that she is black when she is indeed an Indian woman. And with all
Exactly. They try to sell this idea to you all, and that's the point. They try to sell this idea to Black Americans now, especially to the vote blue no matter who crowd that we talk about so often, because they know Black people who vote blue no matter who will not question things like this. They will they will not question anything like this. They will keep voting and voting and voting. Uh, I've had people upset with me when I called out these pictures I saw of Kamala Harris sitting on the back of the bus with Rosa Parks and holding hands with Ruby Bridges. There's nothing to compare this woman to. She is not Ruby Bridges. She is not Rosa Parks. It's a disgrace to do so. And I say that with confidence. I say that because, not because she of what she looks like or religion. It's the fact that she lies all the damn time. Y'all want to vote for her, you want to support her. I had no issue with it, but damn, did you have to go that far? Let's tell the truth. Her record as Attorney General was not good. And even as we are in the middle of the Biden administration, you know, the approval ratings keep dropping. Nobody's, you know, people, but we got people that would never look at that. Her approval rating is even worse than the president's. Only 39% have a favorable view of her, according to the LA Times. So I'm not, Gavin Richard is not making this stuff up. And this is what makes her Kamala Harris, Madam Inhofe, Judge Joe Brown. Oh, this Madam Inhofe, oh, she's a damn disgrace. She don't celebrate no damn Kwanzaa. It's like I don't celebrate no damn Kwanzaa. That punk ass Karinga. But yeah, I thought that was funny. I had to put that up here and show that because I saw that. The next thing I want to talk about, what's going on right now. We talked about this on Sunday, but I did a Christmas episode, and I wanted to talk about this thing that's going on across the country. We know that with the winter storms and so forth, many people have been stranded across the country, not being able to get back home, not being able to travel because of the weather. And it was reported, you know, and I'm even going through this with some family members because I have family members that were coming in town for New Year's, and they actually had to be rerouted to another city and get flights to a different city. So this is according to CNN. There's been a meltdown, and According to this, they said at least 87% of Tuesday's U.S. flight cancellations were Southwest Airlines, according to flight tracking website FlightAware. Southwest canceled, listen to this, no more than 2,500 flights. The next highest was Spirit Airlines with 83. Now, you know you're doing bad when Spirit Airlines tops you. Southwest warned it would continue canceling flights until it gets its operations back on track. The company's CEO has said that this has been the biggest disruption he's seen in his career. The Biden administration is investigating what gives. Southwest had a combination of bad luck and bad planning. The storm hit Chicago and Denver hard, where Southwest has two of its biggest hubs, Chicago Midway Airport and Denver International. More bad luck, the storm hit the so-called triple-demic surge across America, leaving people and their families sick with COVID, the flu, and RSV. Although Southwest says it was fully staffed for the holiday weekend, illness makes adjusting to increased system stress difficult. Many airlines still lack sufficient staff to recover when events like bad weather cause delays or flight crews max out the hours they're allowed to work. But according to this, they're also talking about how they had aggressive scheduling and underinvestment in its operations, which was another issue. So we're going to go ahead. I'm going to play this clip right now from CNN. See if y'all.
You look at how hard it is even to get somebody on the phone to address it. From what I can tell, Southwest is unable to locate even where their own crews are, let alone their own passengers, let alone baggage. So I conveyed to the CEO our expectation that they are going to go above and beyond to take care of passengers and to address this. They indicated a number of issues that they're having with systems, legacy systems for managing their schedule and where their crews are. But the bottom line is the rest of the aviation system has been on the road to recovery since the worst days of the storm going into Friday of last week. As of today, as I'm looking at the different airlines, most of them are in the low single digits in terms of cancellation rates, averaging about 5% for all of the other airlines. For Southwest right now, we appear to be north of 70%. So their system really has completely melted down. And I've made clear that our department will be holding them accountable for their responsibilities to customers, both to get them through this situation and to make sure that this can't happen again.
Yeah, you got to learn the lessons of this disaster. Southwest, it's not the other major U.S. airlines, it's Southwest Airlines. What more can you tell us, Mr. Secretary, about that conversation which you had with the CEO of Southwest Airlines, and what is he doing? What are they doing to correct these major issues?
Well, over the course of the last year, as you know, we've seen a number of issues with the different airlines. And in the summer in particular, we pressed them to improve their standard of customer service. They provided commitments in writing, including Southwest, that they would go above the previous level of what you do to take care of customers with things like covering the cost if you get stuck and you need a hotel or a meal, in addition to rebooking you to get you on your way. Now that we have those commitments that were made to us over the summer, we're going to be using that as a tool to hold them accountable. And I made that clear to Southwest leadership. Now, they did, the CEO pledged to me that they will not only meet, but they will exceed the customer service standards and commitments that they have made to us in the past, and that we're in a position to enforce. I also talked with union leadership from the pilots and from the flight attendants. They've made clear that they have been raising the alarm about these issues in their systems for some time, and that this really has to do with decisions and choices in terms of the investments that this airline has made or has failed to make over the years that seem to be catching up to them now. Look, we all understand when you have a major historic storm hitting the system and hitting hubs in every part of the country, we know that that's going to have an effect on the aviation system. But what's really concerning here is that while all of the other parts of the aviation system have been moving toward recovery and getting better each day, it's actually been moving the opposite direction with this airline.
let me ask about the pandemic. I mean, what do you think worked well and what didn't? I mean, I keep wondering now about the whole closing of schools. Was that, given the ripple effects of it on education levels, on all sorts of things, was that the right thing to do?
We'll probably be debating that for a long time. Once we get the vaccine and we have a full understanding that those at risk are mostly people over 60, at that point, we probably should have opened the schools back up more than we did. The degree to which this was a disease of older people, and you possibly could say, okay, the teachers who are older, they don't have to come in, but make that division. That really wasn't done. It was like, hey, if any teachers at risk, then we should just have the entire school shut down.
So
it would have been.
Shit, I'm gonna get another copyright strike. No, y'all say nothing on my timeline about jabs, okay? Don't. I'm not trying to get this channel suspended again. But we're just talking about what's going on with the airlines. So basically, you're dealing with bad inclement weather is one thing, but also the fact that you have 3 different illnesses going on: the flu, the COVID-19, and RSV going around. That was impacting travel, and it's happening everywhere. So airlines are, especially during the holiday season, which is the busiest time of year to travel, around between Thanksgiving and Christmas, they're essentially going to be hit by these things because now people are forced to cancel their flights. They're going to have to find rooms and hotel. Just imagine, I wanted to go out of, I consider it a blessing that I didn't go out of town, family, because had I gone out of town, I wanted to visit LA before the end of the year. And I was planning to do like a one trip, go to LA and come back. I probably would have been stranded. And I have family out there in LA, but still, I like to have my money. I like to travel. I like to have stuff in place. It would have been bad. Don't worry about deleting it, but thank you. Thank you, Darius. But yeah, we'll get well soon, computer robots. This is actually the worst part of the holidays between Christmas and New Year's is that we don't know what day of the year, what day to call it. They probably have been advocating to people, not advertising to people not to travel. I know they were talking about it being cautious as well because the flu was on the rise, RSV was on the rise, and you know what? Woo 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 was on the rise. Yeah, it's always sunny in LA. I gotta go back though to the vice president. On Christmas Eve, I read, and this is true, that from 130 migrants. I didn't mention this the other day, but I did see this, how they had over 130 migrants from Texas that were bused from Texas to her house. They showed up to her house on Christmas Eve. Governor Abbott is shading the vice president. Volunteers anticipated 3 buses with about 130 immigrants to arrive in New York on Christmas Day, but their buses were rerouted to the Washington area because of the road closures and frigid conditions. See, they've been doing doing that for a few months now. It's all for the spectacle, Miss Bow said of the governor's office. The cruelty is the point. It's awful to use people in this manner for political reasons. Miss Ball is Madhvi Ball, who's an organizer with Migrant Solidarity Mutual Aid Network. So all of this has been a political game, man. All of it is a spectacle. That was a mess. It was sad at the same time because, yeah, people using them like that, I feel bad. But the policies of this administration have put this country in a brand. It's basically made this country go rock bottom. They initiated that by just letting every damn people come in no matter what. And it's a damn shame. But that was a savage move. I do want to mention something. There was, and I have an update I wanted to provide. I've talked about this on Sunday revolving my friend, Mr. Boogie B. I just got word as I'm looking at the news right now in between talking to you that the police have released the names of 2 new persons of interest involved in the case. And I want to share that right quick. Now, of course, this does not mean that they are guilty, but when they introduce people of interest, they normally like to know what happened and who was there. And Boogie's mom even spoke. But this is according to Fox 8. Man, woman, car, assault and killing of New Orleans comedian Boogie B. Montrell. The people that were named are Daryl Love and Trelana Humphrey, who are known as persons of interest. This is the car. They have the license plate 488EXW. Now, I don't know. Of course, I can't state as to their guilt or innocence. What are they seeking them for? The police have stated that Love and Humphrey are not wanted as criminal suspects at this time, but for questioning because the Texans believe they had information vital to the investigation. So they're not suspects, but we know that Boogie was killed near a grocery store on December 23rd in the 700 block of Barone Street. That was by Rouse's. And I shopped, the thing about that, guys, I shop there often because it's around my office in New Orleans. So it's not uncommon that I go there. But I want to just play this video because Boogie's mom actually spoke about crime in New Orleans. And I'm going to play this video of her.
Mother of a popular comedian from New Orleans is lashing out at crime in the city for taking her last remaining son. Brandon Montrell, also known as Boogie B, was gunned Friday afternoon in a busy Central Business District parking lot. And as Rob Masson reports, police now looking for a new person of interest in this case.
He gave me maybe 5 years ago. And I'm looking at me and him and this angel, and I'm thinking about the fact that he died around Christmas time.
43-year-old Brandon Montrell, also known as Boogie B, was a New Orleans-born entertainer who was in town Friday for the holidays.
He came home for what he said were the eating holidays, because he swore to God, he told his grandma that he never ate unless he was in New Orleans.
Family members, now in shock, believe Montrell, who is based in California, went to Rouse's in the CBD to buy groceries for his beloved grandmother, wanting to keep her from having to go out in the bitter cold.
He left from there going to the meeting, and he was going to come straight here after that, but it just didn't work out.
Montrell was killed in the busy Rouse's parking lot Friday afternoon in a hail of gunfire, which police say was not intended for him.
I have no idea if he was the intended target or just, a collateral damage and unintended victim. Either scenario is unacceptable.
As police search for two suspects and a 2019 silver Altima, they have already questioned one person of interest and are now looking for a second, a woman by the name of Trelana Humphrey. Bullets from the shooting inside the Rouse's parking lot scattered across Girard Street and pierced the window of a nearby home furnishing store. Luckily, no one inside was hurt.
I would just wish there were probably, twice as many, if not 3 times as many police officers in this city.
Montrell made his mark with a TikTok series on New Orleans called Hood History and had more than 225,000 followers. He had moved to Woodland Hills, California to pursue his career and was working on a Netflix special. He befriended many celebrities like legendary comedian Dick Gregory and Master P.
And the famous Josephine Young Guns.
While his mother is eager for an arrest to be made, she says problems behind chronic crime in New Orleans must be addressed.
It's the erosion of the community and the care for the community and the neglect, not of the city and not of the tourists. The city has neglected its children.
She now plans a second-line funeral for a son of New Orleans taken far too soon. Rob Masson, Fox 8 Local First.
Montrell's mother says she will bury her son in a Saints jersey, a present for him which he never had a chance to open under her Christmas tree. If you know anything that can help police solve this case, call Crime Stoppers.
I'm praying for you, Boog. I'm praying for you, Mrs. Montrell, Miss Price. I'm going to do everything I'm a criminal defense lawyer, so there's always a conflict when you have a friend that's involved. Especially if you know someone and you're a victim. I support due process. I support the presumption of innocence. I don't know what happened exactly. We don't know who actually pulled the trigger, but somebody is dead over bullshit, bottom line. And it just so happens this was a friend. So I'm tore up about it. But I am hoping there's a resolution and that Miss Price gets some justice. I'm praying his mother gets justice. She didn't deserve that. No mother deserves that. And it puts a negative light on my city, on us, because now people, he ain't coming out to, we get a bad rap. We get a bad rap for this fucking shit. But rest in peace, Boogie. I love you, man. A son of New Orleans. Next thing I want to talk about. Last thing. Nah. I don't know about y'all. I saw this interview with with Akon. And Akon has he for the last few months has been saying some disrespectful stuff about black folk. We don't think he goes on Vlad. Africans don't think about slavery. Black Americans still do. He talked about, and just recently, he talked about Black Americans regarding the music. Now, if you know anything about Akon, Akon got his start. First, his father got his start as a musician himself. He actually was a percussionist for the Jackson family. That's how Akon knew Michael Jackson. His dad used to be a drummer. But Akon, and Akon talks proudly of Michael Jackson, his friendship. And I saw him defending Mike and so forth. But recently, I don't know, and I can't say he's on code because he's not one of us. This African booty scratcher had the nerve to put his mouth on black folks' name. If you are, and this is why a lot of us aren't so quick now to defend some of these tellers, these immigrants who come over and say and talk a lot of shit about us. I'm not either. This is what Akon had to say.
Like, look at these YouTube clips of all these kids from Uganda and how they be, you know what I'm saying? Like, these kids are performers. Like, so with us, it comes natural,
Oh, it comes natural, Akon? Really, Akon? Akon, it was foundational Black Americans who put you on, brother. So,
Amen.
So Akon,
he says it's more natural. Michael Jackson put him on. Young Jeezy put him on. Without us, without black folks, Akon would be nothing but them little kids that you see with Sally Struthers holding them in their hands. Had flies around his fucking face. I mean that. And I'm not trying to insult an entire group of people by saying that. But this man insulted my people with his remarks. When we put him on the map. We give all of these foreigners money. We put them hold them in high regard. He got his start doing songs with rap artists like Young Jeezy. He did stuff with Michael Jackson, the king of pop, the greatest entertainer of all time. And if it weren't for black folks, where would Akon be? And this is what Akon is talking about. This is what you celebrating?
This is what comes natural, Akon, right here. This, don't forget now. Hold on. This what comes natural, Akon. This what we doing? This that energy you talking about, Akon? This that energy you speak of? This is what we talking about, Akon. Okay, all right, okay, all right, Akon. That energy you talking about, brother? Really, Akon? Really, you really fix your mouth to say that, huh, Akon? That y'all more talented? Y'all got more stage presence? Okay, hold on. Let's look at some of this talent right here. This is, I think this is a Somalian lady. This is a non-FBA lady. Hold on. This is a Somali girl.
All right, let's look at some of that talent that y'all got, Akon. Since y'all showing us the game, let's listen to some of that talent. Hold on.
I never even, and to be quite honest, I never liked this singing because the singing sounded like frogs. Motherfucker was singing through his nose. Y'all know I can't play anything because what happens if I play it, I'll get a copyright strike. But you know what the point is. This is what shit, if it weren't for us, he'd be running Ponzi schemes. I take your money, wind it down, get your beat up on the ground. I'll never forget. I was in school at Southern. We had a teacher at Southern undergrad who was from Africa, and he could not help but keep his mouth focused on what black men. The black man is nothing. He is nothing. He got lazy. You are lazy. He lazy, don't have job. He's not willing to get 6 jobs to work and provide for his family. He could not do it. He could not do it properly. This is the problem. This is it. The professor at Southern. Oh, jeez. Somebody know. I gotta ask some of my. I tried hard, Danielle, not to remember the guy. I tried to get that out of my head. Hopefully he got deported back to Zamunda. Well, it was in the political science building. I'll put it to you that much. If you were there at Southern, you might know who he was. But I was there. This was mid-2000s, 2007, 2008. You might know. But that was the professor. I don't know what it is. These guys that feel the need, him, even Michael Blackson, a couple of people who come from Africa, is black people that put you on the map, and they've talked shit about you. But Akon, I don't know what and I remember when Akon had some fallout. Akon had an issue with, I think, some type of energy company out in Senegal that didn't go through? Heard about that shit. Didn't he have something like that happen? They said he owned the first. Okay, so he had a lighting. Yeah, Akon Lighting Africa was the project. And supposedly he got $1 billion check. You can read this from BET. They claimed how he received $1 billion in credit to light up Africa. So yeah, he was doing Young Jeezy. He was hanging out with Snoop Dogg, a bunch of people. It put them on the air. Yeah, and he told Vlad that he got $1 billion line of credit. That just means you indebted to the Chinese. I got a line of credit, because you still got to turn over. If you get a line of credit, yeah, that means you get funding, but you still got to turn over a profit and pay these people back. But for him to disrespect Black Americans the way he's done, the way other people have done, I've seen. I talked about Faison Love. I've talked about Dr. Umar Johns. I've talked about. I haven't talked about Godfrey too much, but I did see when Godfrey was talking about reparations and came at Marcel Dixon about it, because he confronted. I think he confronted Warnock about reparations. Warnock, he had every right to ask that. See, that backwards, you got to take a back seat. You can't. That's not the right time to ask that. Bullshit. When is it? When is not the right time? Nobody can say when the right time is. What's the wrong time? Yeah, remember when Sally Struthers used to do these commercials?
Lacks the power to stir our hearts. The simple thing in the world is to just turn all this off. Turn off babies who are near death simply because they have no food or water. I can't. I've seen too much. But I've seen something else too. I've seen babies come alive with new health because people have called and become Save the Children sponsors.
That's because Sally was eating the food. That's why she did. And Living Color did this. Y'all remember this?
They're underfed. They're hungry. Their lives slowly wasting away because they haven't got enough food. Hello, I'm Sally Struthers. For just 50 cents a day, the price of an apple fritter, you can help feed someone who can't afford to feed himself. The meals are free.
Little girl wasn't little anymore.
Best of all, they're pretty darn tasty. Are you going to finish this? Your donation to the Feed the Planet Foundation is totally tax deductible. Just think of it. You're reaching out and you're giving these people hope. And biscuits, I love biscuits. Please send your donation today. Just remember, $15 a month, the price of a Grand Slam breakfast and 10 Duck bars. You can give these people the sustenance that they know so desperately need. Please try to hurry, though. I've been here for 6 months, and these people just seem to be getting hungrier and hungrier. I can't understand this. Won't you reach out and touch them? Remember, for just $150
a year, the price of a chicken and a super big gulp Dr. Pepper. You can give these people sustenance. Just so fine, feed me. Give it to me.
Yeah.
Give me a prize. Please make that call.
Yeah, but Akon would be doing that shit. Akon would be waiting for Sally Struthers to come. If it weren't for black folk. So we got to take a stand and start taxing people. I'm not talking about hurting people, but you know what? You're going to talk greasy about me. I'm not buying your albums. I'm not buying it, listening to your music. I'm not supporting your movies. I'm not buying your books. Nothing. Until you apologize and show some contrition. We're not doing this. Your singing sucks, by the way. Singer that could sing through his nose. That's what that sound like. But I'm gonna get up out of here, y'all. What's up, Ladybug? Shout out to Danielle for your donation. Darius from Atlanta, thank you. Big Sally Struthers, yeah. Big Sally. And we're not talking about the beauty parlor, Sally. What's up, computer robots? Danielle. Dark Skin Brother 2, it's always good to see you. Y'all hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Of course, ask that you donate to the Cash App, PayPal, Zelle, or Venmo at ticker at the bottom. If you'd like to advertise, go to gavin.grich1@gmail.com for rates. Email. You can also check out our Patreon. And also, ladies and gentlemen, go to our Facebook page, go to Amazon Kindle, get the copy of Pennsylvania versus William H. Cosby that's available now. We will likely, again, I may not have a show this Thursday at 8 because I will be doing a comedy show this Thursday, the final comedy show for G Rich Productions. Ladies and gentlemen, the last stand of 2022. Now on Eventbrite, you can get your tickets right now if you're in the New Orleans area. Tickets are available. We've actually been selling quite a few in the last hour. I got family, friends that are coming out, so it'd be good if you would come out and do the last of 2022. We got Brandon Haynes, Dwan. We got Brandon Haynes. I was about to say Dwan B's coming. No, we got B-Dub, Brandon Haynes, and headlining is Will Merrill. Also got a special appearance by a friend, Mr. Ruffin Jokes, that's going to stop by. So you'll never know. You said one of these days I got to do a live comedy show. You know what? I can't just give the show away for free, brother. Y'all got to actually come out. We actually might. One of the things I'm looking into is possibly getting one of my shows. Well, I can't say too much, but let's just say we might just do that. All right, that may be coming. It's just a matter of putting it out how you're gonna shop it, and plus, you gotta be careful because, of course, if you're doing a live comedy show, I think we gotta worry about computer robots and censorship because there are some things still that you can't say on television. You dig my meaning? Of course, on network television, but if it's HBO or Showtime, you can get away with it, supposedly. But you all be safe, be blessed, family. We might have another show. I'm trying to do one before the end of the year. So, y'all, we thank y'all for tuning in. All right, Ladybug. Yeah. Danielle. I'll see y'all all in the next one. All right, family. Love y'all. Peace out.